You can think you know someone inside and out, and still have no idea what's coming. I'm Eleanor, and this is William. After 48 years, we have a story to tell. It's not just a story about time. It's about the cracks that form in the foundation when you're not looking. This isn't a list of simple tips. These are the lessons that almost cost us everything. The price of learning them was measured in sleepless nights and a distance that felt unbridgeable. If you care about someone, truly, you need to hear this before you face what we did.
When Eleanor says it almost cost us everything, she isn't exaggerating. There were entire seasons, long stretches of silence, where the future felt improbable. People see nearly 5 decades and assume a smooth path. They didn't see the detours, the wrong turns. We made errors that stole time and eroded trust. But we found a way back. That's why we're speaking with you now. Point 44.
The first, and most corrosive, error we made was believing love was a ledger. For 20 years, I maintained a silent account in my head. I folded the laundry, I managed the household, I was the listener, the planner. And whenever William would relax, a part of me would tally it all up. I never voiced it directly, but the atmosphere grew heavy with it.
I was guilty of the same. My list was different: long hours providing, fixing what broke, handling the burdens I thought were mine to carry. When Eleanor would ask for more, I'd think, "Can't you see what I'm already doing?" It created a cold economy between us. A relationship is not a transaction. You cannot invoice the heart.
It was poisoning us. Because a true partnership isn't about perfect equality in every moment. Life is uneven. There are times when one person must bear 90% of the weight. When William's business failed, I held us together. When I lost my mother, he carried me. But for years before those crises, we wasted energy on balance sheets, blind to the fact we were on the same team.
The change started when a friend, watching us bicker, asked, "Do you two even see each other anymore?" That question hung in the air for weeks. We loved each other, but had we become managers of a shared liability instead of companions?
Mistake number 2, believing your partner is a project. William is a dreamer, an idealist. He sees possibilities. I am pragmatic, grounded in details. For most of our marriage, we saw these traits as flaws to correct. I'd push him to be more realistic. He'd urge me to be less rigid. We were two sculptors, each trying to reshape the other.
It's a futile war. You cannot chisel someone into a different shape without causing deep fractures. The breakthrough came when we stopped viewing our differences as defects and started seeing them as essential parts of a whole.
Now, I handle our roadmap, the budget, the plans. And William? He reminds me to look up from the map and enjoy the view. He brings home a book he knows I'll love, suggests an unplanned drive. We aren't fixing each other anymore. We're complementing each other. What's the one thing you're avoiding saying right now? Because our third mistake was
letting the silence speak for us. We would swallow grievances, minor irritations, tiny wounds, to keep the peace. But peace bought with silence is an illusion. The unsaid words don't vanish. They collect, like pressure in a sealed container.
I remember a breaking point. William was late coming home, again, and I erupted over a misplaced key. It was never about the key. It was about months of feeling like an afterthought. All that pent-up frustration found the smallest escape valve.
Had she told me earlier, calmly, when you're late, it makes me feel unimportant, we could have fixed it. Instead, I was confronted with a storm I didn't see forming. We learn to speak the hard truth early, when it's a pebble in the shoe, not a boulder on the path.
The fourth error is a slow, comfortable poison, putting your connection on autopilot. Around our 30th year, we slipped into a routine so deep it felt permanent. We became experts in logistics, what's for dinner, who calls the plumber, and strangers to each other's inner worlds. The romance wasn't gone, it was buried under a mountain of assumption.
We didn't choose to stop trying. It simply atrophied from neglect. We mistook familiarity for intimacy. What shocked us awake was seeing another couple, friends for decades, quietly separate. They described it as a gradual fading, not a sudden break. That terrified us into action.
We instituted small rebellions. No phones at dinner. A 20-minute evening walk with no agenda beyond being together. We revived question nights, asking things we hadn't asked in years. What's a fear you've never told me? What does your perfect day look like now? Love is a verb. It requires continuous action, not just a past promise.
And the final, most crucial lesson, forgetting you are allies, not adversaries. In our worst arguments, we became courtroom lawyers, each marshalling evidence to prove the other wrong. We wanted victory, not understanding.
But in a true partnership, if one person loses, you both lose. The shift happened during a family crisis. Our grandson was struggling, and we had vastly different ideas on how to help. But we couldn't afford to fight. He needed us. So we sat, we listened, and we found a third way, together.
That reminded us, it's not Eleanor versus William. It's Eleanor and William versus the problem. When you frame it that way, your language changes. You say, help me see your side, instead of, you're not making sense.
We are not a perfect picture. Even now, we stumble. Old patterns whisper. But we recognize them now. We course correct. We choose to show up, daily.
If I could send a letter back through time, it would contain these 5 warnings. Abandon the mental ledger. Celebrate your differences. Voice the quiet hurts before they scream. Never stop courting your partner. And above all, remember you are on the same side.
For decades is a long journey. We've seen joy and profound loss, raised a family, buried friends. The people we were when we started are not the people we are today. But we evolved alongside each other. And that has made all the difference.
This is the essence of Winds of Thought, exploring the depths of human experience. If this conversation resonated with you, please show some support. Hit the like button, and consider subscribing to Winds of Thought for more journeys into what it means to live thoughtfully.
We'd love to hear from you. In the comments, tell us, which of these 5 lessons speaks to you most right now? Your stories help shape this community. And if you have a question for 2 people who've been through the storms, ask. We'll do our best to answer.